Hi, and welcome to another art journal page. I'm creating a page in my new homemade art journal book. This is a picture of it. I'll have a link to how to make that in the comments. But I start with a 5.5 by 5.5 multimedia piece of paper. And right now I'm just figuring out what kind of papers. I know kind of what I want it to look like. So I want it to have some greens and some pinks. So I'm just picking out some of my stash. Most of it is jelly prints, some book paper. The one big sheet there is from an old cookbook. And so I think I end up using that. But the others are jelly prints, and I think a couple pieces of scrapbook paper that I have and haven't used in forever. So I'm just kind of looking to see how I like it and how it goes together. And this is, to me, the longest of the whole process, is just trying to figure out what I want it to look like. And if you get bored with this, just speed up. I've already got it at 2 times speed, but you can speed it up using that little gear and make that process go faster. This is a watercolor paper of a book, and I just put down watercolors and then let it dry. I end up not using it, but it kind of came into the color palette I wanted, but ended up being just a little too dark. That's from an old magazine that I thought I'd put an ad in there, but didn't want to use that because that's going to cover most of it up. So I opted out for just a piece of an old book page. And then to bring that pink color I wanted back in, I just grabbed a portion of a jelly print and just using that. So that's kind of what I've decided on. I'm kind of just clearing my work surface here, and I'm going to start gluing down. And to glue it down, I'm just using a Tombow glue stick. And I typically use that for all the lighter pieces of paper. It does a good job. And I noticed that, oh, back of that is stamped, and I decide I'll go ahead and use the stamped side of that. Just continuing to glue down my collage papers. It's another jelly print. Once I have gone through a lot of my jelly prints, I'll be doing a video on how I do my jelly prints. So all my papers are secured, and now I just trim what hangs over the edge of the paper. And at this stage is where I always give it a little coat of varnish to secure papers and to just protect those pages in case there's something I do and I don't like it. If it's water soluble, I can just wipe it off with a wet wipe or baby wipe. And then I just try to do an even spread with that catalyst there. If you notice papers bubbling during that process, usually when it dries, it clears it out. So I want to make some designs on the recipe page. So I'm just using a Neocolor 2 to make some circles. I'm dipping it in water and then coming in and drawing a circle. I'm trying to do some splatters with it. It didn't work out really good, so I just kind of tap it in. And so I'm done with the Neocolors, and I come in with a gold Posca paint and just draw some circles around the larger of the Neocolor circles. And I start to do dots with that, and then I decide I need the fatter one. So I grab the bullet nose gold Posca Paint Pen. I've dried those Neocolors, and now I'm coming in and doing some stamping. And I grabbed the same stamp that was on that piece of book paper, which you can't really see much of anymore. But so I grabbed that same stamp, and I don't want it really dark black, so sometimes I'm tapping off the color. And then I have this old block stamp that's got a postcard on it in French, and so I just am careful where I put the ink and just do a little stamping with that. That one I got at Michael's I'm not sure if they still have it anymore. I've had it for several years. But the number list I got from Rubber Dance. So that's my focal point I want to use. I kind of built this whole page around that focal point. And that I just drew on some watercolor paper and colored in with some watercolor pencils. Kind of gave it a crayon colored look. So I'm doing a little more embellishing with that gold Posca Paint Pen, just making some marks on the edge at the top, and then I'll also make some on the bottom right. So I think I like how everything's looking there, and I'm gonna mount my focal point. And since it's a little bit thicker paper, I'm going to use some liquid glue. It's called Barely Art. It's pretty good glue. I want to add a sentiment. Oh, that's right. I decided I want to add a little bit of that same postcard stamp to the flower petals in the center of the flower. And now I'm adding my sentiment. Be gracious with yourself. And I put those on my Cricut and have my Cricut write it out, and then I just cut it and glue it. And now I do another seal with the matte varnish. I did do a fixative spray so that when I put the sealer on, the Neocolor crayons don't get all wiped off because they are water soluble. And I applied them with water, so it might not have happened, but I don't take any chance. And I hope you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and you have a great day.